saha nāvavatu, saha nau bhunaktu, saha vīryam karavāvahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu mā vidvishāvahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we all be protected. May we all be nourished. May we all do brave work. May we all be enlightened by light of knowledge. May there be peace, peace, and peace alone. Welcome everyone. Can you just confirm once if you can hear me and see me well? Okay, that should be fine. John is able to hear me and see me, so I hope everyone else is also. Okay, that's great. Philip also can hear me. Okay, so in past several weeks, we have been looking at different aspects of mantra meditation, and we will continue to go deeper in coming weeks as well. So, but before we start discussion about mantra meditation today, I also want to touch upon some other aspects of the practice. When I say some other aspects of the practice, when that means some other integral aspects of the practice. Without discussion about those aspects, the practice is not considered complete. So, first of all, we have to understand what is the end goal of meditation. Today, end goal of meditation is many different goals are there for different people, depending on their tendency, how they came in contact with meditation. A very huge reason of popularity of meditation today is because of the advancement in psychotherapy and with the introduction of mindfulness-based stress reduction trainings. So that's one major reason why people started knowing, at least from the West, about meditation. And still, a lot of people still approach meditation as a tool for stress reduction, a tool for having a better life, in the sense when their mind is not stressed, they can enjoy life at a deeper level. That is all true. And it's obviously one of the effects of meditation. But when ancient rishis thought of meditation, when ancient rishis designed this practice, they were not facing the troubles that we are facing today. They were not facing anxiety. They were not facing insomnia. Their life were very much in tune with nature already. There was not this kind of artificial light sources available so that you can keep yourself awake for a very long period at night so that your sleep cycle gets messed up. All those things were not happening. They did not have cell phone to, lose themselves into some kind of continuously scrolling feed. So they were already in touch with nature. So if they did not have that kind of stress level, anxiety level that we see prevalent today, why did they invent meditation? Why did they thought of this practice? So their goal was far superior to what we think of meditation today. Their goal was enlightenment. Their goal was complete freedom from all kinds of sufferings. When I say all kinds of suffering, it means all kinds of suffering which are divided into all three categories: Adhi Bhautik, Adhi Daivik, and Adhyatmik. One who is suffering which is inflicted by the nature, suffering which is inflicted by other beings, suffering that we inflict on ourselves. All three kinds of suffering they wanted to get rid of. So the end goal of meditation was and still is enlightenment, awakening, freedom from suffering. And on the server, people do have some idea about what enlightenment is and how there always goes discussions, sometimes lengthy discussions about what is enlightenment and what is the state of enlightenment. And what I find a lot of time, that discussion stays focused on state of mind. Enlightenment is a state of mind. Enlightenment is a state of mind where you see things in a different way. But that's it. That's where the discussion starts and that's where the discussion stops. But I want to bring another perspective. How do a person know that somebody is enlightened? He cannot have a peek into his state of mind. If I meet somebody who is enlightened, I cannot actually have any sense of what he's thinking. I cannot have any idea of what he is able to see, what he is able to perceive. Then how do I know if a person is enlightened or not? It is his actions that communicate to me his level of awakening, right? So what are the actions that we see in an enlightened person? He is truthful. He will not lie. At least not lie casually. If he lies, he will have a very clear purpose of why he is lying. He will be compassionate, non-violence. He will not be doing any kind of violence in terms of actions, in terms of words, in terms of thoughts. Now, this thought thing may not be verifiable, but at least we can see that the person will not be violent in terms of his actions as well as in terms of his words. Non-violence, non-stealing. The person will not try to get hold of anything that does not belong to him. Even there is another quality that the persons demonstrate, all the enlightened people demonstrate, the quality of non-possessiveness. Even if they have something that they own, they will not try to keep holding on to it. They are ready to share it with everybody. They are ready to give it up for somebody else who needs it at a greater degree. That is non-possessiveness. And the last one that we see, what we discussed about truthfulness, non-violence, non-stealing, non-possessiveness, and satya, ahimsa, stay, aparigraha, and there is one more. Just skipping my mind, but these four also, okay? These four are the things that we see in enlightened beings. And if somebody wants to walk on that path of meditation, path of yoga, and reach the final goal, should he not try to adapt these things in their life, or right from the beginning? So in yoga, the first step of yoga, first stage of yoga is yama, which talks about these 5 qualities: truthfulness, non-violence, non-stealing, non-possessiveness, and moderation of senses. The 5th one is moderation of senses, brahmacharya. Moderation of senses means if you are going to eat, don't just eat because you like the food. You realize what is your requirement and just have that much. If you are watching, maybe you picked up phone for some activity, you know that what activity you picked up the phone, just don't lose yourself in that activity. So that is moderation of senses. These are the 5 qualities that we see in enlightened being. Now, this is the first stage of yoga, and the perfection of these conduct is the final stage of yoga, which is the enlightenment, where all these things become perfect. A person is able to do all of these things properly. Obviously, initially we will not be able to do, but we should have the idea that what is the end goal, what is that we are trying to do, what is that we are trying to achieve. So with that idea, if we try to conduct our life in this way, following these 5 principles, that is when a lot of questions gets answered. Number 1, people always ask, how do I know if I am progressing in my meditation? These 5 practices, truthfulness, non-violence, non-stealing, moderation of senses, and non-possessiveness, how well you are able to conduct this in your life is the indication of your progress in meditation. that answers your question about how do you know if you are meditating well? How do you know if it is making any difference in your life? There are questions about engaged spirituality. A person is sitting on a cushion for 1 hour every day. He is doing some practice. But if his life is not changing, if people around him are not happy, what is the use of that exercise? That exercise is fruitless. There is no enlightened being who people have come in contact with and their life has not changed. So, if you are progressing in that path, then obviously, slowly at least, people around you, their life also should improve. And how will that happen? When you are able to put these 5 principles into action. That is the answer of what is engaged spirituality. How spirituality is not just an exercise that you do only for yourself. How spirituality puts you in a place where you can work for the welfare of society without you doing anything else but just following these 5 principles. So this is a very important aspect of practice. People should understand that meditation standalone is just an exercise like asana, right? You do some postures in the morning for 30 minutes, that's it. Same way you do meditation for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, whatever, and that's it. If you keep all these things separate, then these are separate exercises. These do not become the wholesome practice that we are trying to work towards. So, yoga is a lifestyle, and this starts with these 5 basic pillars. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it is clearly written that these 5 principles are to be followed by everyone, irrespective of where they are situated and at what time they are situated. So it doesn't matter whether you stay in India or England or anywhere. It is free from place. All people at every place should practice it, and it is free from time. When I say it is free from time, it is not just that people of 21st century has to practice this. People 2000 years back also were practicing it, and people who will be coming 2000 years later will have to practice to ensure welfare of the society, and a society where people can actually live and fulfill their dreams. So these practices are free from time and space. And this is not just something that, because I come from a background of Sanatan Dharma, so I must also ensure that this is not a religious practice, because the same practice you will find in every other religion which has some kind of contemplation related practice. So Buddhism has meditation. Buddhism also has Panchashil, the 5 conducts, right? I think even in Christianity, there is something called 10 commandments, which tell you how to lead your life. So all the religions which think about achieving the higher goal, the goal of awakening or the enlightenment, they do have these practices. So it is not religious, it is something which is beyond religion. And that's why Yoga Sutra says it is something to be practiced beyond time and space. So with that understanding, we can check by ourselves what we are doing and how is it affecting our lives. Is it making any difference? Are we progressing? Are we becoming more kind? Are we becoming more compassionate? Are we becoming less angry over time, right? Are we able to stay more truthful to everybody? Those are the yardsticks to check your progress. Okay, so that is one thing that I had to discuss, but we can now get back to our discussion on mantra meditation. So in mantra meditation, we have seen several other things. Obviously, all the things that we have seen are not comprehensive. That means whatever we have discussed, there is far more information that you can get about all of those aspects. And what I have told so far is not in any way comprehensive, and you cannot say that this is all that we need to know. There, obviously, based on your interest, you can go read more and find out more minute, intricate details about mantra meditation. But whatever we have seen so far, what I would like to do here is I would like to just put them in perspective. So what stage you use which kind of meditation. So in the beginning, you start with Vaikhari chant. Vaikhari chant means you speak the mantra verbally out loud, clearly. Om Namaḥ Śivāya, as clear as that. Whatever is your mantra, you pronounce perfectly and out loud. So that is Vaikhari chant. That is the first stage of mantra meditation. You close your eyes, you speak out loud for certain time, whatever, or for certain number of counts. In this, you can also start using the chanting mala, jap mala, the chanting or counting beads. So you know how many times you have counted. The second stage is Upanshu. Upanshu means whispering, where you chant the mantra and other people can only see your lips moving, but will not be able to make out what sound you are saying. So something like that. You close your eyes, you again can use your mala or chanting bead and whisper and chant the mantra. That is the second stage of mantra meditation. Third stage of mantra meditation is mansik jap, where it is completely mental. You close your eyes, your lips are also not moving, but in your mind you are repeating the mantra. And you can continue to use the mala or the chanting beads here. The next stage, the fourth stage, is where you start dropping one by one your aids. So this chanting bead is one kind of aid that is giving you some kind of help in holding your attention at one point. As your concentration power grows, you start dropping one by one your aids. So now you can let go of the chanting mala. You can just sit and start repeating the mantra by using another aid. So what is this another aid? We learned about two different kinds of aid. One is the breathing. So you can start counting your mantra with the breathe. So like when you breathe in, you say so, and breathe out hum, so hum. So your breathing is now your aid for chanting. The fifth stage is where you can use another chanting aid, which is the rhythm. So every mantra will have a rhythm. So we discussed about the rhythm when we were chanting the word, the mantra Om Namaḥ Śivāya. Om Namaḥ Śivāya. Om Namaḥ Śivāya. So this is the rhythm in which the mantra goes. So you can rely on the rhythm to hold your concentration at the place. And the final stage is when you start elongating the gap between each chant. So it goes something like Om Namaḥ Śivāya. 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 So you slowly increase the gap between each recitation, and that gap is where your meditation happens. At the final stage of mantra meditation, your mantra recitation completely ceases, and this gap increases to the whole duration of your sit. And without even chanting the mantra, you stay in the state which arises between each chant. That is the final stage of mantra. Just to put all the practices that we have done in perspective. Now with this understanding, what we are going to do today is we will just sit together and you can choose any mantra of your choice. Of all the mantras that we have learned so far, you can choose any technique that we have discussed so far. If you have a mala, you can start using the mala. If you want to just count on your fingers, you can count on your fingers. If you want to use a mantra which goes well with the breathing pattern, like soham, you can do that. If you want to use Om Namaḥ Śivāya to go with the rhythm, if you want to take it as your aid, you can do that. But the idea is we will begin at the same time choosing our own favorite mantra, whatever you have liked, and we will end together at the same time, and there will not be a lot of guidance. There will be some guidance in the beginning for progressive relaxation before starting the chanting, but afterwards it will be mostly silent meditation, so that everybody can do whatever kind of meditation they want, depending on how much concentration they have built, how long have they been practicing. And yes, that will be our session for today. So I will put the timer and then we can start meditating together. Just give me a minute. Is this clear? Any questions so far from any of the audience members? Anything that is not clear? Anything they want to ask before we start? So we are supposed to choose a mantra now. So you can choose any mantra that we have discussed so far, or if you already have a mantra given by your guru, then you can use that mantra. If you don't have any mantra that is given by guru, then what I said before is applicable. So you choose any of the mantra that we have used so far. So that can be Soham, that can be Om Namaḥ Śivāya, that can be Om Mani Padme Hum, that can be Om itself. So any mantra that you find is easy for you to recite, or is more effective in holding your attention at one point, you can use that mantra. So when you are saying, so we are supposed to choose a mantra now, it also gives me an idea that you are thinking about a proper initiation or something. So obviously initiations are not done in this way. So this is obviously not an initiation session or that of any kind. It's just a group meditation we are doing together and trying to understand the process of using mantra in our meditation. The mantra itself that you are going to use should be chosen by you, either by your inclination towards a specific mantra, or by a guru. It should be given to you personally, so that you should not share with anybody else. Those are different aspects, and that is very much related to initiation and proper transmission of mantras. But for this session, if you don't have anything, you can use any of the 4 mantras we discussed about. Om, Soham, Om Namaḥ Śivāya, Om Mani Padme Hum. You can use. I can write it here for you to be able to see what I am saying and be able to pronounce better. So these are the 4 mantras that we have seen so far. There are numerous other mantras also, and I can share list of common mantras maybe after the session, so that anybody who is interested can choose a mantra on their own inclination, and that should work for them. Okay, so with that, let us begin. I will start a 20 minutes timer. Okay, make yourself comfortable. Rock yourself sideways, forward, backward to find a comfortable position. Keep your back, neck and head erect in one line and comfortably placed on top of each other. Your hands can be on your thighs, on your knees, or on your lap. If you are wearing specs, you can remove that. Close your eyes. Let's take a couple of deep breaths here. Deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. One last time, deep breath in and out. Let's quickly scan our body and help each part of our body relax, starting with the top of our head. Bring your attention to the top of your head and your scalp region. Back of your head, face of. Bring your attention to forehead, eyes, nose, lips, cheeks, chin, ears. Allow your complete head and face relax. Gently move your attention to your neck, throat, your chest region, trunk, belly, your upper back and lower back. Also let your sides relax. Bring your attention to your right arm, right elbow, right forearm, right wrist, right palm, fingers, and whole right arm. Be relaxed. Bring your attention to the left arm, left elbow, left forearm, wrist, palm, back of the hand and fingers. Let your complete left hand relax. Bring your attention to your right hip, thighs, knee, shin, ankle, foot, and toes. Let the whole right leg relax. And to your left hip, thigh, knee, shin, ankle, foot, toes. Let the complete left leg relax. Let your breathing get back to its natural, normal course. And for a few seconds, just watch your body and breath. As and when you are ready, start chanting your mantra. Verbally, by whispering or mentally, start chanting your mantra and be with your mantra. for the rest of the session. With your eyes closed, join your palms at your heart center. Fill your heart with love and compassion for everyone around the world, for your family, friends, relatives, acquaintances, co-workers, your known and your unknown. Feel the love. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinaḥ, sarve santu niramayaः, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaśchid dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all see good. May nobody ever suffer. May the benefits of our practice reach each and everyone. May all be benefited by our efforts. May there be peace, peace, and peace alone. Now rub your palms against each other and transfer the heat of your palm to your eyes. Gently cup your eyes and open. So that was today's meditation. If anyone wants to share their experience or anything, they can join the stage now, or they can write in the chat. If anyone has any questions, one thing is, I explained to you several stages of mantra meditation, a sequence in which one generally progresses from Vaikari to Panshu, verbal to whispering to mental chanting, and then from Mala, Jap Mala, the counting beats, to a rhythm and to the rhythm of the breathe, and then gradually elongating the mantra and the space between the mantra recitation to complete silence. And when I have explained to you this sequence, one thing is, we should not try to rush through this sequence. It will be natural. So when you will be doing Vaikari or the verbal chanting, at some point you will start feeling that there is a stress. You will be able to experience some kind of stress in your throat. So you would at that time naturally switch to whispering, where less air goes through the throat, and after some time you will start feeling that even whispering and movement of lips is a distraction, then you start going to the next stage. Then you stop even moving the lips. You start completely chanting in your mind, and after some time, you start feeling okay. Even repeating the mantra at a certain or holding the beads in the hand is also tiring for your hand, and your attention is drifting to your arm or the movement of your fingers when you are counting the bead. Then you will naturally move to other aids like the rhythm of the mantra, or the rhythm of the breathing, attaching it with the breath. And after some time, you will even feel that having attention on both of these things together is a kind of distraction. You want to even focus your attention further, and that's how you gradually progress through all these stages. It's not something that because you know that this is the final stage, you try to achieve that directly. So a gradual progression, a natural progression always makes your foundation much, much more stronger. And that's how the practice should be. What you said about the 5 principles was very helpful for me. Thank you. That is an integral part of the practice. Otherwise, if somebody is not doing all of this and has no idea of what those things are, and just meditating for 30 minutes or 20 minutes or so, I would not call it a practice. I would just call that an exercise. It's an exercise for your mind. You can gain some mental benefits out of it, but your life will not change with that practice. That is just an exercise, a focused exercise, a mind exercise. You can do a lot of that kind of things, but that is not yoga. That is not something that will eventually help anybody. I have a question. If throughout the meditation I need to change poses, is it a bad thing? It is not a bad thing. One thing is, in meditation, a very important aspect is mindfulness, being aware of what we are doing. A lot of the time in our daily life, we do so many things that we are completely unaware of. Like there will be some kind of itch on my neck, and I will, almost spontaneously my hand will rise and I will scratch. That kind of motions should not happen when you are sitting in meditation. So if you want to change the posture, you can change it mindfully. You can acknowledge that there is pain in my back, there is pain in my leg, and you can acknowledge what is the least amount of movement I need to relieve this pain, and just do that. If for moving the leg, for just moving the leg, you don't have to move your arms, you don't have to move your hands, you don't have to open your eyes. All these things are not required for just moving the leg. So with this mindfulness, if you just slowly switch from one posture to another with the smallest level of change that is required, that is absolutely allowed. There is nothing bad in that. Only thing is, you have to have mindfulness of what you are doing during that session. And slowly with this mindfulness, these tendencies will also drop. But if you continue to do it unmindfully, like we do in our regular, day-to-day experience, then there is no chance that you will ever be comfortable with your body. Does that answer your question? Okay. So, you're very welcome. So, if there is no other question, no other experiences to be shared, we can call this session complete, and let's bring it to the end. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. And next week I will not be available. At least I will not be available on video. I might be also traveling, so might not even be able to join via audio. So, but I do expect all of the regular participants to join weekly group meditation, sit together and meditate for some time. This is very important that we remain consistent in our practice. So I just request everyone to continue joining this session. Somebody will be there to start a timer for you and to guide you to when to stop. So you can just close your eyes and focus on your meditation. But it is very important to meditate together. So even if I'm not around, you guys can join and continue having these sessions every week, right? Okay, again, thank you everyone for joining. Hope you have a nice day. See you after 2 weeks.